Hey everyone, it is Caslow, and welcome back to my channel. It's time for the next segment of my RPG Club playthrough, the PlayStation Classic JRPG, Breath of Fire 3. But before we get started, what is the RPG Club? I've been an avid listener of the podcast The RPG Years, and its predecessor podcast The RPG Golden Years, and RPG The After Years. The podcast focuses on RPG reviews and news. They regularly do a community event known as the RPG Club. Imagine a book club, but for RPGs. They break up a community-chosen RPG into digestible chunks, usually about 5 hours, and discuss those segments every 2 weeks like a book club. If you want to check out the RPG Years, you can find a link in the description below. We left off last time arriving at the colony, a shrine-like structure on the northern continent. Climbing the stairs to the top of the colony, the team discovers a teleportation device, much like the one below Windia Castle. It's inactive, however, and the team has to activate it using a laser puzzle in a separate section of the colony. But once activated, the team takes it, only to discover they're back at the freighter on Steel Beach. Momo believes the portals might lead them to God, so the team climbs the freighter to realign the relay mechanism for the portal. Doing so opens up several new locations for the portal machine, including the interestingly named town of Dragnir. Arriving in Dragnir, the team is shocked to discover the living descendants of the Brood, who had given up their draconic powers. They did so to avoid the wrath of the Guardians, and fled to this remote town. Other dragons chose to sleep underground and breed children rather than giving up their powers, which is how Ryu came to be. The elder of the village invites the team to meet him underground to discuss the history of God and the Brood. The elder explains that with each age, a warrior among the Brood appears, and with his allies, clashes with the evil named Miria, who just happens to be who everyone refers to as God. Miria sought to wipe out the dragons because she feared their power, and the dragons chose not to fight back because using their full power in defense likely would have destroyed the world. The Elder then challenges the team to a battle, all for Ryu to obtain the true power of the Brood. Dispatching the Elder and obtaining the true power of the Brood, the team heads north to the Desert of Death, which they must cross to reach God. After a short trek through a nearby factory, the team reaches the desert and begins their journey. After several nights crossing the desert, the team encounters a powerful monster that they quickly dispatch. However, it appears that Nina has started to succumb to exhaustion. In an effort to save her, Ryu kills the Radka, a camel-like creature traveling with the team through the desert, and uses its meat to cure Nina. The next day, the team arrives in the oasis to recover. And that's where we leave off for this section. This was probably the shortest segment so far, largely as a result of a last-second decision to split the last 2 sections into 3. However, we get a lot of lore about God and the dragons. I particularly love the mural underneath Dragnir, as it depicts the heroes of Breath of Fire 1. It was a fun little callback for those that recognized it. Also, it feels good to finally get past the Desert of Death. As I've mentioned in previous videos, this section was impossible for me as a kid, but this is because the original PS1 version had a localization error that told you to go the wrong way in the desert. It also didn't help that you spend several long nights navigating the desert, and so it's easy to think you've made a mistake somewhere and choose to start over, even if you were going the right way. Overall, not a lot to say about this section though. Next up is the ending. Better do some grinding and gear hunting to get ready. And that's it for this segment of the Breath of Fire 3 RPG Club. If you want to follow along, be sure to hit that subscribe button to see new videos when they are posted. Additionally, if you want to check me out elsewhere, I have links to my Twitch, Twitter, and Discord in the description below. See you all next time.